What's going on, everybody? Listen, we have a new show, The Challenge USA. So let's go ahead and talk about it because it has quite a few Love Islanders on the show. And y'all know we really get into Love Island over here. Last year, I was reviewing the challenge and then I kind of stopped, girl. So we're going to see how long I'm going to be able to keep it up, okay? I'm going to try to keep up the consistency with The Challenge USA. We got to talk about it because they have the Love Island cast, they have survivors, they have Amazing Race cast members. They also have Big Brother. So the people that were a part of last year's Big Brother that ended up creating the cookout, yes, they got quite a few of those cookout members that's on this particular show. So we definitely got to get into some things. Y'all know the grand prize is $500,000. That's a lot of money, but I guess it don't matter to Tyson, who ended up winning Survivor and ended up getting $1 million. Okay, but this is going to be interesting to see, the dynamics. Y'all know they got our girl Cash, they got Cinco on the show. Y'all know Cash and Cinco were a couple at one point, and they ended up breaking up. They also have another couple that broke up from Love Island that's on the show as well. So the dynamics is going to be very interesting. I was watching and I was like, okay, I'm kind of tuned in. Let me see what it's giving. So we're just going to talk about the show very briefly. I'm not going to go into the details of each character because I'm not really familiar with Survivor or Amazing Race because I don't really watch those shows. You know what I'm saying? But I've definitely checked out what's the show called? Big Brother, as well as Love Island. So I'm familiar with quite a few people that's already on the show. So I think they got a lot of Love Island people. I'm talking about a lot of Love Island people on here, okay, in my opinion. But let's get into it. So what they're doing is everybody's going to start out with $1,000, okay? And with this $1,000, they're going to have this in each individual account. All right. Now they're going to be able to make money during each challenge. So here's the thing, and some eliminations, right? So basically, they're going to be doing a overall challenge at the very end. It's going to be a final, the final challenge, okay, or the finals, or whatever you want to call it. But in order to be considered for the finals, you have to have at least $5,000 in your personal account. Right? So everybody's starting off with 1,000. So they're just going to give them that. And you make this money based on the challenges that you win. And any elimination rounds, it seems, that you win as well. Okay? So there's that. And this is going to happen by the end of the season. They're going to have a 5,000. But I'm wondering if there are going to be opportunities where they're going to end up losing some of the money that's in their account. And it seems like, yeah, you're going to lose it when you're on your way out the game. Okay, so as you're getting eliminated, it seems like the money that you had in your account is going to get snatched up and it's going to go over to the people that ended up beating you. But I'm wondering if there are going to be any challenges where they're going to switch it up. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do, where it's like, okay, whoever comes in last for this challenge, we're taking $500 away from you, or we're taking $1,000 away from you. So I feel like they're probably going to do that. But anyway, so Alyssa is from Big Brother, and she was in the house with the rest of the people for cookout. And also, what's his name? Let me see if I got it. Derek was also in the house for the people with cookout. So they didn't know when they were in the Big Brother house that they were getting played by cookout. Okay, cookout consisted of a lot of Black people, nothing but Black people that made sure they made it to the end. And when they made it to the end, girl, what ended up happening, honey? Somebody won the show, and that happened to be Fine Xavier. Xavier already had it going on because Xavier was an attorney, or is an attorney, and he worked for he was like a corporate attorney or whatnot. So Xavier already had it going on. Now Xavier got it going on, if you hear what I say. But anyway, girl. So now, because they ended up getting played in the end, girl, when you're in this whole challenge, it's all about revenge and backstabbing. Like, it's a whole lot of chaos. So Alyssa is acting as though she's really cool with Xavier, but in the end, she ultimately wants to get revenge on how he handled situations over there in the Big Brother's house. Same thing with Derek. And what's so interesting is that Derek and Xavier both think that Alyssa is like the closest person they have on their team to be somebody that's gonna have their back, to be an ally with, right? So that's what they're thinking about Alyssa, but Alyssa is really all there for self, and that's what makes it so interesting when you come on the challenge. And what I like about this Challenge USA is that they are bringing groups of people that are familiar with each other from other sectors, and they're coming in together. Now, granted, yes, it might be a little unfair to Big Brother individuals as well as Love Island, because Amazing Race, Survivor, they've gone through more strenuous things, so they're used to some of these competitions, in my opinion. Whereas the other two, they just not. But the good thing is they don't have a whole lot of people on that show, so they're making it easy versus it being how it was last year, where you got maybe 2 or 3 Love Islanders, and they go over to the challenge, All Stars or whatever, and you got these damn well it advanced people that's been doing the challenge for years, back when it was called Road Rules. You know what I'm saying? So you have those people from back in the day still out here going strong, knowing how to play the game, knowing what works, what doesn't work. They know all about it. So I feel like those people were a little at a disadvantage. So I love that they're bringing all of these people in, and it seems like it's a lot of fresh faces. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of them, not just a few, but a whole lot of them. Okay, in my opinion. So this is cute. What else is going on? So Xavier thinks, like I already told y'all, that Alyssa gonna be the person that got his back. Derek think Alyssa gonna be the person that got his back. But the whole time though, Xavier, Derek and Alyssa is on your ass. So good luck with that, honey. Okay. So Kira and Cashel, these are the 2 individuals that were from Love Island that were together at one point. They ended up breaking up. Cash and Cinco were also together. They ended up breaking up, and it sounds like their breakup is more recent than anything. And I noticed this first episode, we really didn't see Cash and Cinco come across each other too much at all. But I'm wondering if feelings are going to resurface at some point, girl. I'm wondering what's going to happen with Cash and Cinco. Is there going to be a blow up at some point? Because it seems like Cinco don't want to have, he said he don't want no relationship at all with Cash. And he really want to stay clear of her, in all honesty, okay? What else happens? They do a challenge, girl. This challenge is called Down to the Math. Let me tell y'all, I would have fainted down to the ground. Fainted down to the ground, but I have to give it to Aja, because Aja is afraid of heights. There were actually not just Aja, it was a lot of people that are afraid of heights, and they were like, listen, what's behind me? I don't need to focus on what's behind me. Let me focus on what it is I'm doing in this moment, because I'm a freak out. So basically with this challenge of Down to the Math is they had to go all the way up a 22-story building. Let me make sure I say it right. For this week's challenge, competitors must climb up, okay, or shall I say grapple or rappel, or however they say it. Basically, they need to walk down, is what I mean. A 22-story building, solving a series of math equations. And those math equations included like plus, minus, girl, times, okay? So X, like 4 times 2 minus 3 plus 100 times 8. Like, this is the type of math that they had to do as they came down. And if they got all the way down to the end after climbing the wall of a 22-story building, and what was so interesting, it was a glass building. So I was like, girl, are there any employees inside of this building? Or y'all doing this on the weekend? What's going on? But anyway, they're climbing down this building, and once you get to the end, you have to put in your numbers. Whatever your equation will equal out to, you got to put in the total into the machine. But if it does not work and you are wrong, you're going to get 3 tries. If you get it wrong at any moment, you're going to have to run right back up the 22 flight of stairs. Like I said, yes, run right back up the 22 flight of stairs, girl. You have to start this process all over again. Do you hear me? Whew, that right there was a lot. But here, this is what they were going to get in the end. The person that got the fastest time was going to get $10,000. So I do believe that was going to be $5,000 split between each person. Okay, it's only 2 people on a team. All right. Now, so if you already had 1,000 in your account and you got this 5, you at 6,000. So you're really ahead of a lot of people. Okay, so let's keep going. Now, when it came down to it, a lot of people did a great job. They went up there one time, they came back down. The only people that went up and came down and had to go back up was Kylan and Aja. And these 2 are the individuals from Big Brother that were a part of the cookout. Kylan and Aja went up there, girl. They had to come back down, and they got it wrong 3 times. And they were really off by maybe a few hundred or something like that, or 100 or whatever the case was. And they had to run back up them stairs. And they looked like they had it. But I know by the time they got to that 11th stair, girl, it hit a little different, because you had that many more flights to go. Like, imagine that. Imagine that. So they had to go all the way back up, do it all over again. When they came down, they ended up getting it right. But here's the problem. Miss Aja was dehydrated. Miss Aja was about to faint. I don't know if she practiced or prepped or got herself ready for the challenge, but she wasn't ready at all, in my opinion. Miss Girl almost fainted. I was like, yes, lay her out, give her some water, put some on her body. Like, yes, she was using all the muscles that she had, and it just was not enough. And I hate that for them, because they were the only group that had to go back up there. Everybody else, and then that's what happens when you go first and stuff. It's like, you sure you want to go first? See, I could do second, maybe not first. It depends on the challenge too, because sometimes you want to just go and do it and get it over with. But if you at least can go in the second route, okay, you can go in group 2, then it's like, okay, I get to see what it is, what it's looking like, how it's gonna go, then I'll go up there. You know what I'm saying? But they said that they just chose the order. I don't think it was in a particular order or anything. They just chose the people and they went up there and they did their thing. So that's where they were. Hated for them, because when the results came in, they definitely was last, girl. They definitely were, because they were the only ones that had to go up and come back down, so their time was like the longest. So on top of that, they ended up going to elimination. So now at this point, the winners, which was Tyson and Angela, they have to figure out who they finna send in with them. And they did have a few. They had Celly and Giovanni from Love Island. Okay, Love Island season 2 and 3. They had Celly and Giovanni, and I was like, dang, 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 dang. Like, but it wouldn't have mattered. We would have got another Islander in there, which would have been Shannon. It was gonna be Shannon and James, and I think James was from Amazing Race or something like that. So I'm like, it was those two. But James already was like, baby, you ain't finna put us in there. So he started getting on his his talking boots and made sure he went around and he talked to Tyson and Angela, because he knew them and he was cool with them. Like, listen, more so cool with Tyson. He was like, I understand Tyson. I know how he works. I know how he operates. He's more so going to want to know what's going to benefit him in the end. So he has to kind of speak that type of language when it comes to Tyson. So at the end of the day, girl, here's the result. At the end of the day, what ended up happening was Celly and Giovanni were the ones to go in. Ooh, I was sick. Girl, Celly and Giovanni ended up going in. And when they went in, they had to do some challenge with a rope. Girl, that rope was heavy. They had to take it in and out of a doggone triangle or something like that. And then once they got it all tangled up, they had to switch sides. And then the other team or the other elimination individuals had to unravel what the others did. And I was like, what? And whoever unraveled it and got it into this little circle, got all of the rope and everything, including themselves, into one circle, that's who won. So at the end of the result was that Kylan and Aja won, and Giovanni and Celly were the ones that ended up going home. And it was crazy. It was slick. Like, Giovanni, that's what you get, but not Celly. I wish Celly was able to stay, because when Kylan and Aja was trying to do their interview, Giovanni over there running his mouth. Yeah, we ready. We don't fall out. We don't faint. We don't do this. Kind of trying to make fun of them from what happened earlier that day. And what happened? They lost. But let me tell you who really won. Kylan won this elimination round, in my opinion, because he carried the entire out of Aja. Aja was tired. Aja was a heavy breathing, struggling, barely could pull her damn self up, barely could jump down when needed to jump down. Like, Aja was really going fucking through it. Okay, Kylan was really carrying them. And I said, I know Kylan is like, I cannot wait until they allow me to switch up and get a whole nother partner. I just cannot fucking wait until they let me get another partner, girl. I'm screaming. But shout out to Kylan. I was so happy for him. Of course, Aja coming along with it. I couldn't be mad with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, they did what needed to be done. So congratulations to them. They won. Celly and Giovanni got sent home. You know, Celly and Justine from their season 2 are like best friends, like down to the ground. They are best friends. And when I tell you, seeing Justine up there crying, I felt so bad. I was like, oh, you got to do this challenge without your best friend. But now she got some revenge to get on Tyson and Angela. So that's going to be interesting. I hope she gets it at least on one of them. But let me tell you what else is even more interesting before we wrap up. The host gave them a surprise. So they have this little machine or whatnot that's going to randomly select who their next partner is. So they're not going to be partnered with the same person. And at least 2 weeks in a row, they won't be. They said that you won't be. The surprise is that they're getting a new teammate for each elimination. So every time there's an elimination, the entire team that's left is going to get a new partner. So with that, they won't be getting the same partner twice in a row. You know what I'm saying? So basically for 2 weeks or whatever, 2 challenges, they're not going to have the same partner. But I said this is going to be messy, because some part of me feels like Cinco and Muff and Cash is definitely going to end up being on the team together. And we're going to have to see how they operate and how they work well together, or how they don't work well together. I'm really happy about that for Kylan, because Kylan is extremely competitive, and I think that he deserves a partner that's going to be just as competitive as him, in my opinion. So yes. I cannot think of the other woman's name. Let me see if I can scroll up and think of her name, because I'm hoping that he gets teamed up with another woman that was in Big Brother, and it's the black woman with the braids, and I cannot think of her name. It could be Tiffany. I think that's her. I think it's Tiffany. Tiffany talked about how they have such a special connection with each other, and they really understand each other. They get each other. And I think she also said the same thing that I said, or she was alluding to. He deserves a partner that's going to be just as much into it as he is. And I hope that he gets Tiffany at some point. Okay. But shout out to Kylan. He did an amazing job. You know, Aja did good as well. but I do think Colin carried them. But that's all I got, girl. Y'all know the show comes on I believe Wednesday nights over there on CBS, and I think it comes on right after Big Brother or before. One of the two, girl. But they ain't putting it on the app, so I think I'm gonna delete the app, girl. Especially since Love Island USA finna be coming on over there on Peacock. So I'm like, girl, what the hell do I need Paramount for? That's probably finna get canceled. But anyway, girl, that's all I got. I'm Jamie. That's me, honey. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie. That's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.